Good afternoon, everybody, or morning, whenever we're watching this. This is for the week of May 18th, okay? So you're going to have two new assignments on Khan Academy, and they're going to deal with the first one is cylinders. It's going to be the surface area and the volume. So here's our formula to find the surface area. You do 2 times pi times your radius times your height, plus 2 times pi times the radius squared. So all you need is your radius and your height. Same thing for volume. All you're going to need is your radius and your height. And to find the volume of a cylinder, you do pi r squared h. Now, a cylinder, that's like a soup can, okay? That's what we're talking about here, all right? Or like a tube, anything like that. Like a spray paint can. That's where we find our cylinders. So I'm going to go through some examples for you, okay? So the first one, it says, find the surface area if the radius is 3 centimeters and our height is 9 centimeters. They give me all the information. I just have to plug it into my formula. Okay, so if I'm going to do that, I'm going to take my SA formula because this is surface area. So remember, surface area equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. Okay, and anywhere that I see an r, I'm going to plug my radius in. They gave me the radius of 3. So 3 is going to go in for my radius. And then in for my height, anywhere I see an h, that's a 9. Okay, so if I'm going to put everything in here, it tells me to do 2 times pi times the radius, right, times the height, which is 9. Okay, plus 2 pi times my radius squared. And again, that radius was 3. Okay. So all I did was plug in my radius and my height. Now, remember, if you are going to plug in pi, you can plug in 3.14 for it. Or we can do some math before we do that. Okay, so if we think about this, we have 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay, and then 6 times 9, 54 pi. All right, we're just going to attach our pi there. Plus 3 squared, which is 9. 2 times 9, which is 18 pi. Okay, since these are both pi's, you can add them together. It's just like variables, right? If it was x, 8x plus 12x, you would combine them. Okay, so if I'm going to combine them, I get 72 pi. And I put my centimeters, and since it's area, it's squared. Or, if we're going to put that in our calculator, we could put it right in our calculator from this line right here. If I do 72 times 3.14, that gives me 226.08 centimeters squared. Same answer, your choice. Okay, so that's for number 1 with the surface area. For number 2, that's the volume. Same thing, we're going to plug in our r and our h here. So again, that radius is 5. So 5 is going to go in for my r, and the height is 11. So if I want to find the volume, I'm going to do pi times the radius squared, r, which was 5. 5 squared times 11. Okay, now you can put this exactly in your calculator. Remember, what's pi? It's 3.14. So you can do 3.14 times 5 squared times 11 right into your calculator. Okay, so if I show you that right here in this calculator, that means we're going to do 3.14, okay, times 5 squared, okay, times 11. I'm going to hit enter because all in one line works. Bam, there is our answer. Okay, 863.5. You can do this in your phone too. So 863.5. I was dealing with inches. And volume is cubed. Any area is squared, any volume is cubed. The last one over here, so they give me a picture and they ask you to find the surface area and the volume. So again, you're going to plug it into the formulas. Okay, so if I'm going to plug this surface area formula first, and I'll do that one in purple. Surface area equals 2 pi RH, so 2 times pi. If I look at this picture, my radius is from that circle, the middle, to anywhere on the outside, which would be this 7. Okay. Times my height. Height is either found inside of the cylinder or on the two sides. And that height is going to be 10. Okay. Plus 2 pi r squared. And remember that radius again was 7. Okay. So that is what I have so far. Plug my 7 and my 10 in. If I put this in the calculator, again, 2 pi, 2 times 3.14 times 7 times 10. Okay, if I want to do it in 2 separate steps, I absolutely can. That will give me 439.6 plus, okay, I'm going to do 2 times 3.14 times 7 squared, which will give me 307.72. And then the last step is just to add the 2 together to get that total surface area of 747.32. And then I don't have anything, so I'm going to use units, a u squared. That's the surface area. Okay, let's take a look at the volume. We have all the information. So for volume, look at that formula, pi r squared h, so pi times the radius, which again was 7. So r squared, 7 squared, times my height, which is 10. I can put that right in my calculator. 3.14 times 7 squared times 10, and it gives me 1,538.6. And again, I don't know, so I'm going to use units squared. Okay. All right, so there's our cylinders. That is the first one. Okay. The second one that is assigned to you for this week involves the volume of different shapes. So still cylinders, but also spheres and cones. So I'm going to show you those formulas now. Okay. And just really quick kind of go over them. These are going to be word problems, so you're going to have to use, a little more math, kind of doing volume twice and figuring out how filled up it will be. So here's our volume of a cone. So what you're going to do is pi times your radius squared times your height, and then divide it by 3. Your height is found inside the cone. Okay, it has to go from that point down to the middle of that circle. Okay, for a sphere, that's your basketball, your volleyball, baseball, tennis ball, anything like that, okay? All you need is your radius. And what you do is you take 4 times your pi times radius cubed. Sorry, this should be a cubed here. And then you divide it by 3. Okay, so that's for the volume. Cylinder, we've already gone over that. All right. We will go through a couple examples on Thursday involving the word problems. All right, I'll leave that up there for you to end with.